Well, hello. I hope you all are having a fabulous Friday. Um, Welcome back to Let's Discuss. Today, we've got a topic that probably is going to rub some people the wrong way, and that's okay because that's why we're here. We're here to discuss different topics, to get your feedback, and see where we can find some common ground. So, now that I have re-engaged from from uh, my long holiday weekend, which, if you saw my video yesterday, I was talking about disengaging. Um, so a bunch in the news the last couple of days, can't avoid it, and they're talking about government shutdowns, and they're talking about budget issues. Ladies and gentlemen, I am just going to come right out since it's my channel, um, and we need to discuss this because it's pretty damned important. The government has got to stop spending money it doesn't have. Okay? We don't have, I'm not saying, by the way, that everybody pays their fair share of taxes because I know a whole lot of people, and you do too, that take all kinds of write offs, and their effective tax rate is really, really low. Um, Berkshire Hathaway head, you know, um, the owner of Amazon or the head of Amazon, there's a bunch of people that they pay relatively little in taxes. By the way, there's a whole lot of people on Capitol Hill that don't pay a hell of a lot in taxes either. Their effective tax rates are really, really low. Okay, because they write the laws and they take all these tax breaks. By the way, the tax breaks are part of the law, and therefore it's not illegal that somebody pays less in taxes. But getting back to the point, quite frankly, the money we bring in, the money the federal government brings in, is not the problem. We are set to bring in a record $4.71 trillion in revenue this year. 4.71 trillion. 2 years ago, we brought in 4 trillion. 3 years ago, we brought in less than 3.5 trillion. So in 3 years, we've gone from less than 3.5 trillion in revenue to over 4.7 trillion. That's more, that's like 1.2 trillion dollars more. It's like you getting a 33% increase in your pay, and the government is still going to spend $1 trillion more this year than what it brings in. Sounds to me like it's not the people paying the taxes that's the problem. I think the problem is the people writing the checks. If you get a 33% increase in your revenue and you still spend $1 trillion more than you bring in, which is 25% more than they bring in, 25% more than they bring in. Let me tell you right now, it's not that people aren't paying taxes. It's that the people in Washington are spending your money carelessly. They're spending your money on things that they shouldn't spend the money on. We've got to rein in spending. Our government has gotten bigger than it has ever been. Ever. We've got all this great technology, but it seems we got to hire a bunch more people. We've got all of these streamlined processes, But hey, we've got to add more departments and bureaus and government agencies and programs, and we got to spend money over here and over there on something new. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't have a tax problem. We have a spending problem. We're coming up on an election year. I don't care which side of the aisle you're on. I don't care whether you belong to a party or you're an independent. If you're not looking at the money that your elected representatives are voting to spend, you're the reason why we have a deficit. You're the reason why the government spends more money than it brings in. You're the reason why we have such horrible inflation because the government is spending money it doesn't have and it's causing the price of things to go up. We've discussed this on previous videos. Inflation is caused by too much money chasing too few goods. If the government's printing money, it's spending it like a drunken sailor. It's giving out money to every moving, living soul that is out there to spend. That causes inflation. If you're unhappy about the fact that your groceries have gone up 50%, that your gas has gone up 100%, that you can't afford to buy a house anymore because the interest rates have tripled, if you're unhappy about that, think before you vote. And by the way, for my conservative or Republican friends out there, you need to think before you vote too, because there are plenty of Republicans out there that have no problem spending your money. They vote for budgets every year that increase spending. We don't need to increase spending. We already tax people too damn much. Plus, we've got the unspoken tax of inflation, higher interest rates that cause everything that we do, from the lights in your house to the food you eat. It causes those prices to go up. That's a tax on you. I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, with this election year coming up, if you vote for anybody that decided it was okay to increase the budget, I don't want to hear any of you bitching about how much the cost of things have gone up. I don't want any of you complaining about who doesn't pay taxes. I pay taxes. I pay a hell of a lot of taxes and I don't make any money. Right? I bet there's a bunch of you that pay a hell of a lot in taxes and don't make any money. You can't save money because of the taxes that you pay. If you vote for someone that increased the budget, it's your fault. You put them in Washington, you allowed them to write checks that the government can't cash. It's your fault. Let's discuss it if you want to, but you're going to have a hard time changing my mind. And again, this is not a left or a right because both of them spend money like drunken sailors. You and I, the voting public, are the only ones that have the power to get these people out of Washington. Republican, Democrat, Independent, it doesn't matter. If they promise you something, if they say, I'm going to give you something because you vote for me, remember, Washington doesn't create anything. They first have to take it away from somebody else to give it to you. So if you vote for somebody because they promised to give you something, then you voted for theft. We need to get voting public, we need to get this through our heads. We don't have a tax issue. We have a spending issue, And it's your fault if you vote those people back into office. I hope you do have a good weekend. And I do hope that you give me some feedback on this topic. I do want to discuss it. If nothing else, I want to discuss it because if you don't agree with me, then I want to understand why theft is okay with you, why you think it's okay to spend money people don't have. I need to understand. So give me your feedback. We live in a great country. We can control our outcome. We don't have to live like this. But you've got to step up. You've got to step up. I hope you have a blessed weekend. Spend time with your families. Enjoy what you have and appreciate how much more you could have. God bless.